We're recording. Cool. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to That's So Bro Season 3. And today we have a very online digital guest. She's not AI, she's a real human being. Hi, Miss Helani. Would you like to tell us a bit about yourself?
Helani.
We got this before we started the episode. We got this.
We got this.
Thank you for asking me how to pronounce my name and then getting it wrong.
He asked, and I was not paying attention.
That's true, fair. So my name is Helani. I live in Sydney, Australia, and I would like to call myself an entrepreneur, but I also write and I dabble in acting.
What did you act in recently? What was your last acting gig?
No, I've done a lot of classes, and then I've done a couple of commercials.
What did you?
But I reckon being an influencer is acting.
Oh yeah, it is. I mean,
yeah.
you portray a version of yourself that's not real when you're doing influencing, right?
No, I like to think I'm being authentic, but yeah. Oh my gosh, he's so cheeky.
Bro, that's what I was saying. I said that. You know, 50%. I didn't say shit. You see that?
You're just sitting there, just like watching. Get some popcorn.
She called me cheeky.
He pushed her closer and closer and closer to the edge and just see what happens.
See what happens. Amanda, do you want to be less cheeky?
Yes. How did you get into the whole thing, man? Like, how did you? Because I did. Stalking is not the word for this.
It is.
Research is the word for this.
Stalking.
I went through your social medias.
We stalked together.
Right? There we go.
Social medias.
Social
plural.
medias.
Okay.
We were holding hands and doing it.
There you go. My question to you is honestly, how did you find the courage to be so upfront with your life on social media?
Oh my gosh. I think, as in like currently, because I wasn't always like this.
Okay.
I think it's been only since like probably August last year was when I was like, I don't give a shit. I'm just going to be me.
Right.
But I think looking back on my life, I think I was practicing to be that. I started my first business when I was 22. I dropped maths and science over here, which is like a whole thing, like a brown person not doing maths and science. And I've always been in the public eye in the community here. So I've always just grown up trying to do my own thing and being just me. Showing up like I have on social media is like a whole nother ball game because, as you guys would know, being on social media, it's like you get the negative stuff as well as the positive stuff. Yeah. So like it's about just, again, being authentically you and trusting that the people who are meant to be for you and the people that resonate with you are going to find you. But it is not easy.
Yeah, for sure.
Can I ask what other businesses you run? You said you started at 22. What did you start selling?
Yeah, so my first business was Gather and Stitch Couture, which does bridal wear. And then a year later, I started Gather and Stitch Beauty, which does hair and makeup for weddings. And then just last year, I started Homegrown People with two other friends. And that is like a PR, media, marketing, and events business.
Okay.
So, I'm sorry, the third one was, what was the name of that?
Homegrown.
Homegrown. So that is for events.
Yes, events, PR, and marketing. It's like to push people who are really in their purpose and amplify their voices because it's just like so passionate about people who are, following their dreams.
And the other one is Gather and Stitch, right?
Yes.
Why is it called Gather and Stitch?
It's called Gather and Stitch because in my third year of uni, we had to design a font, and I designed the font based on sewing because it was a passion of mine. And then I called that font Gather and Stitch when I came to start my business.
All right. That's
I can call
crazy.
it Gather and Stitch. I already have a font and a logo ready to go. Let's just do this.
So do you do like a Sri Lankan Indian style or like what? Or is it westernized?
Yeah, so it's I think it's a reflection of me. So I was born in the East, raised in the West. And I think a lot of people have that kind of outlook towards clothing now where we're like, so globalized that we've got our roots, but we've also got like Western simple shapes in there. So it's very much a reflection of both those things.
Do you do plus size for me?
Everything is custom made.
Oh!
So whatever size and shape we can cater to.
So we will model for you.
Helen, Yoshan really wants, that's the one. Yoshan really wanted to get to the point of, if you're making plus size, can he model for you?
And if you make normal size, can he model?
That's what he was trying to get to. Yeah,
I'm trying to make a occupation here. I'm trying to make some money, bro.
It's a joint venture.
It's women's wear.
Hey, we can
you're
rock women's
more than
wear.
welcome. Yeah, I 100% think so.
Yeah,
And, I'll send you some.
sister.
I'll send you some, okay? Don't you worry.
I think I'll do great in your hair products one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
With all the 3 hairs that he has up there.
Four.
Right, 4. My bad. And I also saw what you sent Chanel, and that was beautiful, dude.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Chanel. That was so lovely of her. She approached me about like 3 or 4 months leading up to her wedding, saying she loved my stuff, and I was like, and she said she was getting married at the end of the year, and I said, oh, you probably have your outfit sorted, and she's like, no, actually, I don't. How soon can we do something? So yeah, we just got that together for her. Luckily, yeah.
And the measurements,
It was
like,
good,
did
so
you
much-
come down here or did she come there? Or
No, so Chanel is actually quite a standard size because she does modeling and everything
Yeah.
as well.
did she
but
just call
no,
Chanel
it was all-
standard?
A standard size.
Okay.
A standard size.
Brother.
She is more than standard. She's
Helani, your
That
Shan will
better
push you,
not
dude.
end up being a
Your
quick-
Shan will push you, bro. Right? You be smart about it. I'm telling you, this is all the advice I can give you. Your Shan will push you. You be smart. Okay.
It's okay, it's okay.
You were saying.
I can handle it. She is a standard size, and therefore it's a lot easier for that. It's like when you walk into a shop and it fits you straight away. That's very different to like custom. But we make everything custom, virtual measurements, and then finding that mannequin here, making it to that. I get everything. Hers was hand beaded, handmade in India, and then it gets shipped to me. I make sure it fits Chanel, and luckily it fit like a glove when it went over to her. She just had to take up the hem a little bit, and all sorted.
So your stitching is done not in Australia, it's done in India.
So it depends on what you're getting done. That particular one was done in India because it had to be all hand beaded.
All right.
Labor is expensive here, so all my hand beading gets done there.
Okay. Yeah, that's amazing that at 22 you figured how to do this. And I mean, we are pretty old, and have you figured anything like that?
Nope.
Yeah. It just
I think I'm older than you guys.
yeah.
I'm 30 now.
Yeah, but-
and so it's been 14 years of trying to do that. So
Yeah, but
I
you
couldn't
started-
do this at 20.
But you started.
You
dude. That's the
started at
thing,
22.
right?
At 22, you know what I was
Yeah.
doing? Trying not to get the zipper on my. We'll continue.
Yeah, stuck.
That's yeah. Exactly.
Yes, please. Please take away the attention from me.
Okay. So an entrepreneur, 3 different businesses. What was the hardest part of trying to manage all 3 businesses?
The hardest part is I think time management. As
You do
guys
have
will
kids
know.
also.
Yeah, I've got one daughter, and it's school holidays right now, and I'm single parenting and trying to work on all those as well as like school holiday and like managing her social calendar because that is a whole nother thing on her own. When you talk about like a manager being in the room, I'm her manager being in the room during her like play dates and
Right.
stuff like that. What you can talk about, what you can't talk about. But so it's, I think time management is probably the biggest thing, but I've had no other choice but to manage my own time because I've never worked full time for anyone. So it's always been on me. And I think I've just become accustomed to doing it. Yeah.
So
efficiently.
straight out of university, you just started doing your own thing. Is it?
Yeah, the next year.
Oh, dude,
I
that's
worked part-time
mad.
for a wedding photographer.
Okay.
Yeah, and then whilst I kind of phased that out, I started my business.
Okay. So what made you like think, okay, I need to start a business now? Is it your family pressure or you just wanted to do this?
No, inner calling. I don't know. What would you
calling.
call it? Yeah, like ever since I was a child, I was like, I'm just going to start my own business. That's what I'm going to do.
What
I
were you
didn't know what
thinking
I
when you
was
were-
going
That's mad.
What were you thinking when you were a child?
Bro, I want to be that guy from Dragon Ball Z.
I thought I was
Still
Batman.
time. There's still time.
Dragon Ball Z,
on
yeah,
it.
I was thinking about you.
I thought I was Batman.
Oh, there you go.
So you do quite a bit. You handle your kid, you handle 3 businesses.
Yeah.
Everyone, there's a certain amount of strain that you have to take in, right? So do you have these mental breaks that you have to take? Like dark moments where you feel like, okay, I need to take a break. I need to reset myself. Do you go
Yeah.
through things like that? And if you do, what do you do? Like for the people to know, what are the best ways to overcome these challenges?
Yeah, I'm really lucky in that when I started my business, it wasn't as busy as I am now. And I think, like, I always think back and I'm like, I did so much then, but I feel like I do so much now so much more now.
Right.
So I don't know if our brains get better at handling more as we become better at doing it. Because I'm way more efficient now, and I used to think that was a lot. I used to work all the time, but now I have so much more on and can handle more. I think like mental health is so important. And like even today, I was really feeling overwhelmed with the amount of like my WhatsApp was going off with so many different, like you guys were organizing this. We had like, Yoshan's fault. We had like,
oh, hello, boss. Here's Yoshan. Pong.
I got everything sorted out. Thank you.
Thank you, Yoshan. Thank you.
Yeah, and like a few other things are happening. We're organizing a few photo shoots, a music video. Everything is happening next week. And I was feeling very overwhelmed. And it was just like, I always remember this thing. It takes 8 seconds to rewire your brain. If you just go somewhere and breathe, 8 deep breaths, that even initially helps. I just put my phone away. And you know what? That solved a lot of problems for a while. Take a couple of like hours away from my phone, and I had my sister over and my niece and nephew, and we just like enjoyed that time, and I put my phone away, and that really helped just like reset my brain. And I was like, why was I even panicked before? I can reply in my own time. It's fine. I don't need to like keep up with it.
You are the boss.
So, yeah, I am the boss.
Yeah.
People should be afraid of you.
It's just going to be going at my pace. So I think that like switching off for a bit, taking time out, being careful to not have burnout. But I really think like doing what you love helps with all this in a big way. Like if you're doing something you love, you can really just keep going. Just making sure you manage that mental health along the way helps. But that is the key, because when you're doing something you hate, that's a whole nother like ball game.
All right. So stitching is your passion. It has always been your passion.
That was one of mine, but I don't think it's my ultimate. I think what I've realized in the last 3 to 4 years that it's like, I think my ultimate passion is like entrepreneurship, or like even just being a good role model in the public eye, as opposed to specifically designing like wear.
I think in terms of good role model, you're going the right way. I have a daughter, so I hope she will start 3 businesses. And
there you, by the age of 22 though. No, but 22 you had 1 business. When did the other?
I had 22 one at 22, another at 23. Well, yeah.
No, no, good luck with your good luck with the daughter. Bloody hell,
22, 23, man.
That's right next to each other. Okay, personal question though. Do you feel now that you are a lot more fluid, I suppose, with how you manage everything, that the struggles and how hectic it was before, do you think that you were a lot more productive back then or now?
No, definitely now. Like productivity and efficiency have like increased, and also I'm on the like since you guys have stalked me on my socials.
Research and development. I said this. I said research and development.
We stalked you together with a cup of coffee.
With a what?
Cup of coffee, and we're like, oh, look at her, look at her. Oh, like this, we like that.
I didn't see any likes pop up.
Yeah, that's
a time difference.
The point of stalking is to make sure that people don't find that you were stalking.
You call it research.
Exactly.
You called it research. You liar.
The point of researching is to make sure nobody knows that you're researching. Otherwise, you just look crappy. But yes, you were saying.
So like I've gone through so much like personal drama in the last 3 to 4 years that I'm just like, I feel like I can handle anything, you know?
Right.
Like if you can get through that, I've like if you talked to me 4 years ago, I'm a completely different personality. I still like had a bit of this, but not as much.
You did mention about rebuilding your personality in the introduction.
Yeah.
So what did you do? Like, did you take a step away? Did you go to like a meditation camp, or like just overnight be like, I'm someone else today?
Today, I am not.
I am not. This is 2.0.
What was that? What was that first of all? What was that flipping moment for you actually?
I think it was thinking like, actually, I deserve everything that life can offer, because we only allow us to have what we think we deserve. So if you think you deserve unpleasant circumstance and unpleasant environment, that's what you're going to allow into your life. Like you will put up with whatever you think you believe.
Right.
And the moment you believe I deserve the best, the moment you believe like I deserve wealth, I deserve happiness, then you start to take action according to that belief.
Right. And you cannot
So I
start
think-
settling for anything less than that too.
Yeah, being strong in like not settling for anything less. Like so many of us are in unhappy circumstances, whether it's a job, relationship, like even parents at home, and we put up with it and accept that that's what we deserve.
Right.
But yeah, if you move away from that and really believe that, no, I deserve the best. And that was a turning point for me, actually. That was around when I was 34, 35. I was like, you know what? I do deserve the best, and I have so much more life to live.
Right.
It doesn't have to be like that. It doesn't have to just be in my brain, this like imaginary great life. And then taking the actions, like so little things, like just standing up for myself. Then, just acting through the fear, because fear will keep you in that safe place.
Right.
And then just, practicing to build that. So, lots of meditation, lots of therapy.
I told you.
Good job.
I knew it.
Call it out. All right.
Yeah.
No,
meditation, therapy, it all goes hand in hand. I don't think you can just be like, meditate and then that will be good, and therapy and that will be good, and not actually practicing as well. So you have to do like all of them.
A little yoga here and there.
I do zero yoga.
Oh,
Zero
damn it.
yoga. Yeah.
I was so close.
No, because I don't, like, I talk to a lot of people, like, even with the men's circle, right? I don't see a lot of people who, like, they know they deserve better, but take the actions to actually get to where better might be.
Yeah, no one takes action.
Yeah, so that you know that in your heart of hearts, I need something better than this. And you know that you're settling, but to take the next step, people are so either afraid or just pull back, or you call it circumstance, that nobody actually does it. So it's very rare to see.
I think that self-motivation, which she has abundant of.
Yeah. You have to really, like, honestly push. Like, I lost, like, what I felt like was the love of my parents. Like, my marriage fell apart. You know, like, I only see my daughter, like, I don't see her 2 days a week, right? And, like, that is, like, losing everything you know to be true.
Right.
Like, to not be able to speak, I speak to my mum now, but to not be able to speak to my parents in a way that I felt was, like, love is huge. And I had to be like, I know I'm right, and I deserve the best. To not to have to break away from that is huge, because breaking away from your parents is like, I can't even, like, you can't comprehend. Like, there's been many days that I have, like, been on the floor crying, you know, or like it's been such a low, but that's what you kind of even like know, just knowing that I deserve the best, and the best is on the other side of this, is what keeps me going. And it's scary and it's terrible and it's so much pain. And I think that's what people are afraid of, feeling that pain. But you only get that. How much pain you feel is how much happiness you're going to feel after, when you feel so free.
Right.
Once you're actually like, living that life that you deserve.
That's deep.
Yeah. Dude, brown kid to brown kid to brown kid. We're proud of you, man.
Yeah.
You broke through the cycle, man. Good for you.
Standing up like that to your parents, I still get beat in front of my wife and daughter, so.
Yeah, no, it's rough. Like, I love them so much.
Right.
And I know that, like, they're a result of their circumstance, you know, and their upbringing, and I'm a result of mine. But knowing that and having that awareness, I saw when my daughter was born, if I didn't make a change, and if I didn't consciously parent her, then the cycle was just going to repeat again.
Yeah, for sure.
And we're not changing the world. We're just keeping it going.
Yep. Well, we didn't think
That's
this would
what
get...
your Shani's doing.
I
didn't think this would get this deep, but all right, damn.
By any chance, have you heard of a song called Father and Son by Cat Stevens?
Yes. No, I haven't.
You listen to that song, you listen to the lyrics.
Okay.
Basically what you said. At one point, I think he says... So he basically sings a part of the song as the father and the other part as the son. And at one point he says... so I think the father says, okay, so he's giving this life advice. And the son just retorts saying, every time I try to speak, you shut me down. Right? And you always listen to them, but it's them, they know, not me. And then he keeps going, no, I break down every time I listen to that song. And so, I would stand up, but the camera would just get our crotch shots, so we just not do that. But, props to you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Now we all resonate with stuff like that because we all have that shared experience, and it's like not
sister,
only
you don't have to tell me,
brown,
yeah.
it's not only brown, it's cross cultural, and I think it's just like a reflection of the times, you know. So yeah.
A little bit about your. Let's get to a little more lighter side of things.
I didn't know.
It got too deep for a moment. I have issues with emotions.
He doesn't want to go through the pain, and this is why.
That's what makes me a great comedian.
I don't even understand. Comedy is all a farce, bro. Right? It's a facade that it keeps in front of you, so it doesn't deal with it.
Yeah. No penetration.
No, I reckon comedy is great. Comedy is you can explore so many deep topics.
See,
on, like,
you can
a lighter
explore.
level.
Do you want to go to therapy?
No, therapy. She can buy a ticket and come for one of my shows.
I would love that when I'm there.
No, I mean to my therapist.
Oh,
yeah, right.
I think she would get to know you a lot by just coming to
Exactly.
our show.
See.
She would have so many notes.
Yeah.
So
She'd be like in the front row, like oh.
And then quit.
Yep.
Yeah. So let's get back to your acting side of things. Do you have any projects upcoming or like?
I have more like writing projects upcoming. So I'm working
novels.
on no, not a novel. Like a feature, like a what is it called?
A feature film.
It's like the thing before the feature film. That it's
A screenplay.
no,
A script.
it's like
Audition.
A draft.
no.
An idea.
An idea.
All those are great, but not.
Kola kaila vachana tikai.
Yes, it's like a proof of concept.
I understand exactly what that means. She said a word that I've done.
Movies.
I do, but I don't make them.
It's so actually I actually majored in film and photography. That was like what I studied in uni. I did Viscom and then I majored in Viscom is visual communication, which is like branding, graphic
I
design,
knew that.
illustration.
my batong you knew.
I was explaining to Yosha because he had eyes.
Twice called her.
I'm sorry that my face uncovers everything I'm thinking inside.
That's great. You're authentic.
Yeah.
So that's what I actually have studied, and I love that. Like, I'm so passionate about that side, and I love the movie industry, making them, not watching them so much. But yeah, I discovered through this, like the last 3 or 4 years, I wrote down so much of like everything, and I wrote so much. And apparently, I'm not too bad at writing.
Ooh.
My producer tells me. So, yeah, working on something there. It's all in the wraps for now.
So, it's cheaper to shoot it in Sri Lanka, and if you want a villain, I'm here, and you want a hero, he's there. We are ready. We are ready. No need need auditions.
Look, I have so many projects in my head. Like, I just can't stop thinking of ideas. So we'll see.
We're gonna be in a movie, bro. We're gonna be in a movie.
Just stay alive for like the next 20 years.
20 years, ayo.
20 years, then we have our grandfather roles. Both you have to know, don't kill the bad guys. Talk to them.
You will be the bad guy.
Who knows?
No, I'm the grandfather. 20 years from
You
now.
are playing the bad guy.
In 20 years, I'll be like, I can't even say
that guy in that film was playing the bad guy, and he was like 75.
Yeah.
True. CGI can do a lot.
Ah, there you go.
I mean, a week also?
For sure.
Yes.
Influencer-wise, what was the... Because, I mean, Yosha and I both do this, right? And there are some people that they expect you to pay your bills through exposure. Mm-hmm. So through that, so who I will tell you recently what happened as well. It's a big hotel chain, all right, and they want to do a certain campaign of theirs, but for that campaign, what they wanted me to do was to come over. Like it's a huge shoot, dude. Like and it's an international chain also. They wanted me to come over and have a lunch. That's the payment. Lunch is payment. Yeah, dude. But it's a huge shoot, and it's everywhere. So it's gonna be on their socials, here, there, billboards, all that shit. So part of
billboards.
So it was like for a lunch. A part of me was like, okay, so what we'll do is we'll see how much we can abuse lunch, right? But then how much can I eat for that value? And I was like, it makes no sense.
I would bring my entire family tree.
Yeah, I think that is the only way. Like
the neighbors, parents, the horagani, everyone.
Yeah. Who is the horagani?
The neighbors horagani.
in that spirit, honey, we'll start with the best. What was the best gig you had, social media wise? And you don't have to say who the worst was, but what was your experience?
Did you say the best?
The best.
Best experience and the worst experience. To
be honest, I haven't done zero paid still, because I think my influencing is not as far along in this journey as you guys maybe, Amanda, and I'm talking to him, not to you, Yoshan. I don't know about your influence journey at all.
I'm leaving. Bye. This podcast is that so. The bro is gone.
I think you finally met your match. I think that's the problem.
There you go.
You want me to start? I haven't started.
All right. Okay, you can start this. All right.
So I don't think I've had I'm always just really happy when someone wants to give me some kind of payment towards it. I'm okay. I'd love to do that for you. Yeah,
for sure.
Above and beyond. I'll even chuck in a reel. Not only stories. And a lot of the time right now, it's been working with brands that I absolutely love.
Right.
So Sparsalon Australia, my friend, he runs the one in Australia. And we became friends through just doing our businesses together. So that's probably one of my favorite things to promote, because I love the products that he shares, and he's such a good guy, and he runs the store amazing. So yeah, that plug. Thank you. You're welcome, Nero. So that brand I love. And then the worst experience. I think the worst thing is it's not a bad thing, but I think there's a misconception that you can throw a product at an influencer and then they're either obligated to share it, or they should share it, or something like that. Because I think this, I don't know, it's so tricky, isn't it? First of all, I believe, Amanda, you should be getting paid for doing that, because it's another avenue of marketing, and your brand, what they want is your brand.
Right.
So that's something that should definitely be paid for, because if they were getting George Clooney, they would pay George Clooney. They're not doing George Clooney for free.
That is exactly my thing.
Are you the George Clooney of Sri Lanka? I don't know. So if
I love her, dude. She's so nice to me. Not to you, but she's so nice to me.
If they need to pay you, then they should pay you. So just like that, I think my work experience, it's not really even that bad, but it's feeling obligated to post something. But I think I'm starting this at a place in my life where I'm a bit more conscious of who I am, and I can afford to be picky.
Right.
And so I don't think it's impacted me that negatively yet. I think my most negative thing has been the comments.
Good
which
point.
I'm just whatever.
Like hate comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, hate comments. Yeah.
How do you
from Sri Lankans?
Mostly men.
Sri Lankans?
Hello.
No.
Australians?
You guys, no. I don't know actually where in the world they're from, because I've had 7 or 8 reels go viral, 16 million, 5 million, 6 million. So I don't
6.8 million actually, but yeah.
Stopped right.
Specifically, yeah. Oh yeah, that one.
Got you right.
One. Yeah. There's ones with more. The tattoo one got so much more.
We ran out of time.
Yeah,
No, I saw that thing.
I saw
There's teaching my daughter my body, my rules. That's
my rules. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that backfires on me all the time.
Why?
That girl,
What do you mean?
She's like, what did she say to me today? I said, finish your food. And she was like, Ami, my body, my rules.
That's why I don't teach anything to my daughter.
I was like, go to the toilet before you go to bed. But I don't need to go. My body, my rules. So
this is why I don't teach my daughter anything. Go to the toilet now. Now?
Okay.
Nata ida se bedsheet khodanne thingavadu.
But you know what? So many people resonated with that. And I have 31% of my followers are from the US thanks to that reel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so hate comments on those has probably been the most negative part of the experience.
Do you deal with it or you just ignore it?
If I'm in a, what's that emoji, the devil emoji mood,
Right.
then I'm let me. But also I don't have time. So it's a bit of a, if I want to practice my sass and comebacks, then I do it. If not, I'm whatever.
Okay.
Yes.
And we asked because Yoshan loves hate comments because he likes to take his time to be as creative as he can to come up with something just to hit them back with.
Yes.
Out of kindness. I don't fight.
Out of kindness.
It's all kindness.
Yeah. We're
all
all
love.
like lovers, not fighters. Yeah.
It's all love and it's nice comment.
Is it?
I think it depends on the comment. Like, will I get involved or will I not? A lot of the time in those million ones, the fans do it, or like the people who are supporting, they'll ride that wave and do that for you. It actually was quite overwhelming when all the reels started to go viral at the same time, and like all this, like, first of all, it was so many people messaging me saying me too, me too, me too, and sharing their stories, and that was quite full on. I listened to like each and every one of them, and then I had to deal with like the little negative ones, which just came at me, and I wasn't used to it. But now I'm just like, whatever. And I pick and choose. So I had one comment and I also delete. I'm like, if I can delete.
I do that. That makes sense.
Yeah, you're in control. It's your page. You don't have to put up with it, just like in real life. So I just like delete. There was this one guy who kept making the comment and it was like, you've deleted this 3 times. And I'm like, thank you for keeping on coming back to my reel and making sure, like, checking to see if it's still there.
If anything, the algorithm thinks it's a great reel and just keeps pushing into more and more people.
Exactly, just like people are using it.
I don't think I ever delete a comment. I just promote it.
So that's the thing.
I push it up.
That's the difference.
I boost that comment.
5 rupees on that one. So that one, I wrote it out on notes, made a whole speech, and then copy pasted that in because I was like, I ain't getting a reply from you again. Okay, this is it. So depends.
Well, that's a new approach.
God damn, yeah. You can try that, John.
I will put it on notes and then copy paste.
Yeah, because you know what I think is, like, if there's someone on there who also has received that, I want that woman to see that that's not okay.
Right.
And like that people can stand up and you have a voice and you don't have to put up with shit.
Yeah, because I think the notion behind most of these things, at least I feel, is because you're supposed to be an influencer, you're supposed to accept these things and you should be okay with it being like this.
Yeah.
Not like, why? Yeah.
They're like, since you have put your life out there, you should be able to take negative. That's what people say.
Yeah,
but
that's what they say.
Again, you can choose what you want to pick and what you don't.
Exactly. I think you have to have a thicker skin because so many more people have access to you. If you're not an influencer, you've got like 10, 20, 30 people who have access to you, and out of that 10, 20, 30 people, they have to have the guts to say something negative to your face. Which most of them don't. But when you're an influencer, people are hiding behind a screen. They think they can be mean and say whatever they want, which I'm just like, say it to my face. I hear so much from other people. I'm like, say it to my face. No one has actually said this to my face.
I've had an incident where this guy kept doing some hate comments and then I kept replying. And then one day he's like, thank you for replying. I just wanted to say hi. I'm like, can you be like a real hater?
I don't think he knows what love really is.
He was like, oh, damn, this man is, he went on about how fat I was, which I know, I have a mirror. I have a scale, I know. I have clothes that are tight for me. I know I don't need him to tell me. I have a mom. But anyway, this guy kept commenting. I kept replying. And at one point, he was like, oh, thank you for replying. I just wanted to say hi. And I'm like, you could have just said hi. What?
Exactly that. Yeah.
What kind of me are you?
Yeah.
We can say that.
Yeah, you can say that.
I can say that.
Yeah.
So how's the influencer game in Australia? Is it a big thing? Is it a...
It's interesting because when in Sri Lanka, like, people actually know me because Gather and Stitch, like you mention it to a bridal store, people know me. In Australia, I'm like the 5% of, do you know what I mean? Like, whatever the South Asian minority is, they know who we are.
Okay.
But like, it's so hard. It's been actually so hard being in a country that is not designed for people of color.
Right.
And so, and also for their, like, the indigenous people. So it's like when you say I started my business 22, I did not have access to anything in the industry. And even now I will try to get into stuff and I can't, because they just don't see a market for South Asians here. And to be honest, Australia is probably one of the smaller Western countries. In the US and the UK seem to have like a larger demographic as well. So yeah, in terms of influences as well, I think, and one of the part of the reasons like we started Homegrown was that so we could give people of bicultural heritage a voice and like a platform and show that actually we are just as valid and just as important, and we bring a whole crowd with us as well. Because when the people at the top are so used to pushing a certain kind of agenda because that's what they see as valid, then they don't hire the people that they think, like they only hire the people that they think they need, not what the people, like everybody needs.
Understood. Yeah. So is the Sri Lankan community small in Sydney? You're in Sydney, right?
Yeah, I'm in Sydney. I would say it's pretty small compared to Melbourne.
All right.
Melbourne's like really big and really like dispersed. I think if in Sri Lanka, if you're in the Sinhalese community, you are in the Sinhalese community.
Right.
And then there's people who choose not to be in the Sinhalese community, and they're like a little bit more
gypsies.
Spread out. But gypsies. Yeah. So I feel like because when my parents migrated in the early 90s, a lot of people migrated, obviously left Sri Lanka at that time. And then when they came here, they kept Sri Lanka from the 1980s. Right. And Sri Lanka changed and grew and adapted, and we stayed in this like thing. So it's a very tiny, very small, very I feel like people should study it later, like all these migrant groups that went to the West, because it's a whole nother environment.
So that's when they didn't move forward. They just stayed in the 80s or 90s.
They stayed. Like I honestly think they stayed. And they came from a very fear-based, controlled view, and rightfully so, with everything they experienced. Like even if we had one day of what they experienced, we'd have to get therapy again. So like rightfully so, but maybe one day they'll like we are a result of that upbringing. And then I look at my cousins over there who are so liberal, like like everything is so different there, and very much in line with what is happening here, but just not in the Sinhalese community.
Okay.
That was very different.
You said that being a minority made you lose a lot of chances. What about being a lady? Does that affect your?
Yeah.
Like I want you to speak to the lady audience, women who are watching this. And what you had to go through as a lady, and how you overcame those, like what were the problems?
I think in my industry, I was very lucky not to have like I think I picked a naturally what they call a stereotypical like women-driven field. So I didn't really feel like so much of a resistance in that field, as well as maybe like my friends who may have been in like the finance industry or like medical field or something like that. But I think the thing that women have to really fight for is, I think, the patriarchy view overall. And this, like, I think it's almost like even an inner voice from our upbringing that we're either not good enough, we don't have a voice, and we're afraid of like actually speaking out. Like even last week, one of my friends apologized for being too assertive and like too directive. And I was like, girl, never apologize for that. Like, do you ever hear a man?
In the office?
No, in like we were making a music video.
Oh, okay.
But I was like, no man has ever apologized for that. And I see my daughter and I'm like, that girl will never apologize for being.
Bro, she's telling you right now it's her body, her choice. She's not going to apologize.
Yeah, exactly. She's not apologizing.
My daughter stands up to my mom, so.
Oh, yeah.
That's going the right way.
The times there are changing.
Yeah, exactly. Like girls of this generation, they're not going to. So I think like that's the biggest thing. Like, don't apologize. Like, we are just as worthwhile of having a voice as men, and just knowing that and not apologizing for it. Because I think there's so many stories I hear of like even women who are minority, who are women, who are in a room full of white Caucasian men, for example, and their voices aren't heard. They're even like not like listened to and not heard. And I experience this even with like when I work with men who are older than me, I find. And I don't know, maybe there was something that happened in like upbringing that it happens like the older generation where they're just so used to talking over women, to be honest, like quite frank, that's the truth. And it's not everyone, but there's a lot of them and we all feel it. So yeah, just maybe calling it out, you know, I don't know how to do it, but just being aware of it, you know, and pushing through and knowing that you essentially deserve better, like we've always been talking about.
Right.
So is it more of a gender thing or a racism thing? What that you would say, like you said, in the room full of Caucasian men, if you were also,
I think it's gender and race, but in that specific instance, I think it was gender. But I mean, I'm sure like men of color probably experience it as well.
Yeah.
So then in that case, it would be a race thing. It's so hard to know exactly which nuance it was.
Yeah.
But
That's not
yeah,
she can ask. Sorry. So is it because I'm a girl or is it because of the skin color?
Yeah, it's like what's
I
the
always say,
happening
Mama
right now?
Kalu.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I always go, Mom, you are not listening because I'm Kalui. And they'll be like, yeah, but that's not why we're not listening.
It's just you.
You, that's a terrible idea, bro.
The color. Yeah, I think it's interesting, and I think we're so used to it that we don't realize. That's the sad thing.
Okay.
Until you actually see, because it's so like sometimes we get it from our fathers. So like, why would we like see it when somebody else is doing it? We're just so used to being like spoken over.
So your advice to the younger generation is to call it out. Is that?
Set your boundaries.
My advice, like my biggest advice, would be awareness. Self-awareness, awareness of your surroundings, awareness of who you are, and then you can see it in real time when it's happening. And just, I think you've got to have a lot of confidence in yourself.
Right.
A lot of unafraid and just using your voice. Because I'm trying to think, what does my daughter do? And that girl is just like, she's so unafraid to use her voice. She'll say it a million times. She like commands attention with the sheer volume of her voice. So I think we have to just like think like that. That's the only way.
I'm sorry, how old is your daughter?
She's 5.5.
Oh, that's a good age. It's a fun age.
Yeah. How old's yours?
She's going to be 3.
Okay. Yeah, that's a fun age. 2 to 3 is like the worst.
I know, I understand. I'm still going through that, so I understand.
My follow-up question then would be, so honey, from what I've learned, right, and what I've seen, a lot of the people who seem to be overly cocky, overly boisterous are people who at their childhood have never been taught to zip up or shut up or respect others and all that. So where do you draw the line between standing up for yourself and setting boundaries and being a piece of shit? Ideally.
That is a fantastic question.
She doesn't know the answer.
Yeah.
That's a
I think there's a difference kind of between so like I started, that's something I did which I didn't say. I started a YouTube channel called Met the Minds for Kids.
Okay.
Which is on like meditation, self-awareness, and like the baselines for that is like kindness, courage, and confidence.
Right.
So I think if you are somebody who embodies kindness, somebody who embodies confidence, and somebody who embodies courage, I don't think you'd be the kind of person who comes from an ego, like an unhealthy ego, and someone who like talks over people or like has this like toxic confidence almost.
Right.
When you know that, then you know when to step back, you know when to have your voice be heard, you know when to listen, and your emotional awareness is high. I think when the emotional awareness doesn't come into it, that's when you lack confidence in yourself, you almost have to have your voice be heard.
Right.
Because you don't have the confidence in yourself.
Right.
Right? So it's like, I have to get my point across because I need that person to believe me, like believe me, trust me.
You need that external validation, basically.
You need the external validation.
Right.
That's it. Yeah. But when you have internal validation, you don't need that. from anyone else.
Yeah.
So you use your voice when it's required, you use leadership when it's required, but at the same time, you know that this whole game is to do with teamwork, because the world can't function unless we're working as a team. Yeah.
So what kind of a boss are you?
A great boss.
Like,
do you even have to ask? I'm so confused.
no, like, what kind of a boss do you think that people should be? That's how I should have phrased it.
I think an ideal boss is like embodied leadership, where like you are again embodying kindness, courage, and confidence. I think those are such key things. And so like if we take world wars, for example, I feel like it's like two men, no offense, who couldn't work out their issues and decided it was
sexism
better.
at the max.
But come on, history shows that it was men, majority.
It's just that men knew how to write back then. That's the problem.
What?
Please continue. Takshi, please edit that part.
Who like did it like they weren't emotionally aware enough to have a conversation and sort out their problems, instead of like deciding, hey, it would be better if we just killed them, you know, like if, in a whole, that's what they thought. If you can't do it in a small scale, don't do it in a big scale. Am I getting too political?
No.
Yeah, welcome.
Okay.
Let's start a thing.
So do you when you say emotional awareness, do you mean empathy? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I think having compassion, empathy, and self-awareness. So if you think, okay, that person made a mistake and did something wrong, because I too make a mistake and I can do something wrong. You're coming from a place of understanding.
Right.
So you know that then what you're doing is like trying to understand and work towards a solution, as opposed to killing people.
That'll make a terrible World War movie.
That's every movie. so then embodied leadership is someone who comes from like kindness, compassion, and can lead the world. Like Jacinta Ardern, like the New Zealand Prime Minister, I think is a great example of like a leader who did that well. And yeah, just like more of that, you know, actually listening to the people and knowing what they want, and then you know, like running companies where they might have access to childcare, you know, and in an easy to accessible place. So like the 9-to-5 work environment was designed for men who weren't in touch with their families. So it could go off, like who can disappear for that long and it'd be okay 5 days a week, you know? You can't run a house like that.
Right.
So
does she know what
I think...
Wait for it.
So I think, I think an integrated ability for a workplace to have an integrated lifestyle, a boss that understands that, and like, yeah, more happiness, more holistic approach, I think is the future.
Yes, Shashank.
Yes, I just want to say that 9 to 5 away from the family, blah, blah, blah. I work on a ship. I'm home for 6 months. I'm away from home for 6 months. I still keep in touch.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, every family is different, but the whole construct of a workplace is the other.
So, any words of inspiration for someone who wants to start a business at 22?
Just start. Stop making excuses and don't be afraid and just start. Is my biggest advice, because I think a lot of people think that they have to have all the ducks lined up, everything in a row before they begin, and we spend a lot of time doing that. Do everything that you can before you start, but then just start, because the only way that you can have your business is to have a business. And I always bring it back to the analogy, like you can't learn how to write without writing. You can't learn how to run a business without running a business. You have to do it to learn.
So it's okay to make mistakes.
Yeah.
100%. That's the only way you grow and learn. You have to make mistakes. And I think we've been trained in our brains to not make mistakes and be afraid of that. And that's a problem. And that's what stops people. Like most businesses fail in the first 3 to 5 years. And that's a reason. And that those years are the most crucial years, because they're the roughest years, not because you're doing so much, but because you get so many problems come to you that you learn how to face them. And the more you do it, even the problems come, you've just learned how to face them. That's all that's changed when you get past that point.
Honestly, you are one of the most inspirational people we've had on the podcast. Like,
sure.
everything has been against you.
Even though you're really mean to Yosham for no fucking reason. Yeah.
Everything has been against you, and still you have done so much. So I think this is pretty inspirational stuff.
Yeah, like if your next book isn't about you, then
it's like how to be inspirational.
How to be me, by me,
by me,
lights by me, screenplay by me.
And who plays the villain? Me.
Oh yeah, dude. Wow, your insecurities play the villain out.
I will pay you. I will pay you
to play you.
No,
I'll
you.
Can Yosham be you in your story? I would love that. I would pay good money to watch that movie. You do all that.
We need a wig for that. We definitely need a wig.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like I can grow it.
All right, generally when we end our show, we have a small game. This game, Yosham will explain the rules.
So you did say that you don't know much about pop culture, so that's going to make things a bit difficult. Do you listen to music?
It depends on the pop culture.
90s movies, Hollywood movies. Are you into that?
Maybe we'll find out.
All right. So what's going to happen is we're going to get a thing on the phone to generate random movie names. Amanda and I are going to act it out. You should guess what the movie is. You cannot say the name of the movie.
Here's the catch.
You cannot say the name of the movie. If you say the name of the movie, you lose. You have to describe the plot of the movie in the worst way possible.
In the worst way possible?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So, like, let's say if it's Titanic, you can just say a couple dying in icy water. I don't know. It has to be a dumb way to describe a movie. Yeah? A cheating woman kills an innocent man while ship is falling down. Something along those lines.
All right. Okay,
because Rose was cheating.
Really testing my creativity here.
Basically, what we're saying is if you can't get this, you're just like
not creative.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, Amanda, can you get the random thing?
Random 90s movies.
90s to 2000. That's okay, the 90s, 2000, or are you more familiar with all the 80s? We want to do with something that you're familiar with.
Wow, how old do you think I am?
I love 80s movies.
Y'all are calling each other out, bro. I'm not doing shit. I just type.
I like movies from the 80s.
90s, 2000s.
That's, I think, the golden age of Hollywood.
I like movies in the 20s because they're a lot more, I'd be like 2000 because they're a lot more PC. But I mean, I grew up in the 90s, so.
Yeah, when I watch a movie, I don't really think, is this PC?
I'm like analyzing everything. That's my like problem.
How can she watch a Tamil action movie now?
She can't.
She can't.
I can't. Like even Harry Potter, the first one, I'm like, guys, green screen that properly, you know?
A film that came in the year 2002.
Bro, calm down.
I'm just saying, there were other movies at the same time.
But they didn't have budget. Budget is a problem.
No, I know, I understand. And my first movie will probably be the same, okay?
We'll tell you about the green screen then.
Bro, you didn't have a green screen. What was that shit, man?
Why are they flying on the broomsticks for real?
Technology
All right, you got it?
Okay, I have 10 of the 90s and 10 of the 2000s. All right, are we both going to do one each and then have a guess, or are we both going to do the same thing?
We'll do the same thing.
Okay. The first one I picked to do is very easy.
All right.
Which is this one.
The number one?
No, the number two.
Number two, okay.
Okay.
All right.
You will get this, and if you don't get this, it's going to look really bad on you, all right? You'll look lame. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I'm so scared. This is my fault.
Oh, I know.
Okay, and
no, say the name of the movie. Describe it.
You very badly described the movie title.
A movie about a man who spins backwards to avoid being shot because he has realized that everything is not real or as it should be.
Very good.
What's the name of the film?
Matrix.
Ooh!
Done. All right. Second one. You pick one. Can we talk in this? Or can we not talk?
We're doing the active, we can't talk.
Okay.
We will go with...
Please.
This one.
Oh.
Number 8.
Okay. Please pretend to hit. Okay, this is the only way I make my money is my face. You're the mic.
It's like literally every movie ever.
No. You're supposed to hit yourself.
Okay. Okay. 2 words.
2 words. The name has 2 words. First
word.
No, now you.
Okay.
What is this? What is this called? What is this called?
Yeah, I'm not allowed to say it, so I'm not saying it.
fair enough.
True.
We are at a impasse.
Yeah.
So what was the second word? Just say the second word.
Second word is something we cannot even act out.
Oh! Some guy imagines an alter ego.
Yeah! Let her describe it. Let her describe it.
Yeah.
And then creates a place where other men can also act out their anger issues.
Emotions.
Take out their anger issues.
Empathy. Empathizing. This is what the word
Social awareness.
Yes.
No, emotional awareness.
Emotional
Emotional
awareness.
awareness.
This is
You've
what's
learned
not
the
in.
word.
Let's upgrade to the next tier.
Yes.
Okay, madam. You have two more.
Okay.
Two more. Please pick easy ones. I will pick an easy one more time. I got you. Don't worry.
Shift to the next tier. Oh, you want to do that? Okay, we'll do that.
It's so much easier.
Okay, we do that. Number 6.
Number 6.
All right. Can I carry you?
Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, sure.
Bow.
About me.
I'm bowing to you.
Right. Roar.
Oh, okay. A giant cat. On a giant rock. And he's not allowed to go into shady areas.
There you go, son. There you go.
Okay. And then what happens?
Ends up
going there anyway.
accidentally murdering his dad. Accidentally murdering his uncle.
There you go.
And
Why is everything an accident?
The first one was kind of accidental. Kind of his fault though. Second one was on purpose though.
Did he toss him or like it was slip back?
No, he's the fan.
We'll go to the next one.
Okay.
I like the raw.
I figured that's what I got. Yeah, I got you. Actually, yeah.
Number 3.
Oh my god. Okay, I got this.
Okay.
Me?
It's almost like the first part of that entire thing. It's 2 words, right? First word.
So second one.
Second word.
Also you.
2 words.
Yeah,
2 words. And I will give you a hint what you were being to your Shan.
Yeah.
But say there were maybe 3 or 4 of you.
What?
Okay. Second word is.
Well, actually, okay.
Okay, yeah, got the second word. What's the first one?
So the first word is a description of those people.
Okay. I shall portray to be one of them, and your Shan shall be the other one. Ew, you're so fat.
Oh my god, are you dressed like
ugly.
a woman?
And you didn't even shave that
Your hair is
properly.
crooked.
And oh my god, is that what you're wearing with that?
That, oh my god.
This is a movie?
Yes.
Yes.
Should we tell whose accident?
I don't even know who actually.
Like-
Google it, no?
It's like every 90s movie.
But this was
ever.
the most famous one.
Fair enough. What do you call a collection of those people?
Women.
Right,
Oh, yeah, but another
Okay.
word for that.
When they were younger.
When younger. What's a younger woman?
Can I say it?
Yes, before you're a woman.
Starts with the G.
Yeah,
no?
all right.
Okay,
That's the
okay.
second word. That's the second word.
The first one.
First word is.
Ew!
Oh, I gotcha.
Did she eye roll at us?
It's part of that thing.
Unkind girls who rule the
She was about to say something else.
Did it start with a B?
No, it did not.
I believe you.
Yeah, unkind girls who ruled the school who one of them came from Africa.
Oh yeah, I didn't watch the movie.
I
but
can't
yeah,
remember.
yeah,
I can't remember that.
You haven't seen the movie?
I've seen it, but I can't remember it.
Oh, wow.
All right, done. That was one very, very easy one if you want to do that one. Man.
That's the last one. This is the last one.
Which one was that? We can just do this. Number 10.
What's number 10?
It.
3 words.
3, 2, 1.
That's two fingers.
Second word is?
Man?
The first word is?
8. I will show you 8.
Oh, okay, I got it. A man who dresses in a onesie and throwing strings out from his wrist.
All right.
And with that, you're done. Good champ.
And with that, we're going to end the podcast. Do you have any closing statements before we stop?
Maybe something nice to Yoshan for once?
Guys, I think this has been one of my favorite podcasts.
Yay!
Good job.
We did
Sorry,
it.
Takshi, I threw your pen.
And would you like to tell people how they can contact you and how they can get business done with you?
And how we can get like a thing done?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if it's you guys, don't. But if it's
Mean
my
Girls, I see what I did about the Mean Girls thing. Best camera. You see what I did about the Mean Girls thing? I knew it.
It's like, if you guys don't.
All along.
Too ugly for me.
Yeah, no, that's not the reason. So if you follow me on Instagram, helani Sarath Kumara, you will find links to all the businesses I have. So Gather and Stitch Couture, Gather and Stitch Beauty, and Homegrown. And yeah, you can find me there. And everything I do.
Okay. And any inspiring words to end the podcast with?
Follow your heart. Listen to that voice inside. Honestly, that is the key to life.
All right. That is inspiring. And actually, you have been the most inspiring person we've had here. Great story. And I hope you do more and more businesses.
I hope you have to run into a time where you have to get Yoshan to be one of your brides. And I will be there for that.
One of your brides?
Yes.
Cool.
Like you have to dress him up.
Photo shoot.
That's the one.
When I'm in Sri Lanka, we can do something. We can work it out.
Hell yeah. Also, I saw the photo shoot I think you've done with, I think her name is Maria Mohammed, the red outfit for Australia Vogue or something or other. That was brilliant.
That was great. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, the sari inspired one.
That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah. Red.
All right then.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for
Alright,
joining.
thanks,
everybody
guys.
watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and share this with everybody you know, both here and in Australia and other countries. We love you. We'll see you guys soon.
Yay. Thank you.